I got a year worth of content for you, brother. This ain't no week-long thing. You getting trolled for life until you give me my fade. I IRL stream all the time. If you're tough, pull up. You're not like that. You're not.
Internet niggas be beefing for the most stupid reasons. Like, they get all serious, and then when you get to the root of the problem, you realize you guys are arguing over that. Like, they're so I have a very funny and interesting situation today. Recently, DDG, who we spoke about in the last video, if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's a very important lesson for all. DDG is arguing with an individual named Lil Rodney's son. And who is Lil Rodney's son / Reggie / girl? He too funny. I've been following this guy since day one. Let me tell you, he's one of the funniest guys you see on the internet. His humor is just something else. Always gets me laughing. Like, he's a funny guy, you know. However, I'm going to come out this video to not give a very biased take, because I feel like this needs to be addressed and also called out, because what the hell is actually even going on? So if you guys didn't know about this whole situation, basically what's happened is Reggie has gone into an argument with DDG, because the origin of the argument is that Reggie went to prom, streamer prom, with this girl. And the girl's name is Rhea, or whatever her name is. But what she did, unfortunately, was that she started to try and scam Reggie's fans, and he broke up with her or cut her off, because in his defense, he was saying that he doesn't want his integrity to be spoiled. He doesn't want to invite someone to scam his fans. He's just not a good look. And can we just say, for a 21-year-old, which I didn't even know, I thought he was a bit older, shout out to Reggie for that, because he's genuine, he has integrity. I always respect content creators that have integrity, because it's so hard to have integrity in this field. However, because he got a little bit of a back and forth with her after that, DDG then commented on the situation, saying some ish like, oh, she got her money and stuff like that, and he didn't like that. And I understand it from the point of view that when someone does something wrong, the last thing you want to hear is people making you seem like you're the one who's tripping. Whether we want to admit it or not, that girl did something wrong. So anyone who's trying to side with her, saying you don't want her to make her no money or things of that nature, no, stop. Like, come on, stop. Like, really, stop. You know, so from his perspective, he's a 21-year-old, you feel me? So he's gonna have a bit of more edge to him, more energy, more bounce to it. So he called out DDG, saying that his music was trash.
She posted the Cash App scams. She got paid for a promo.
Mind your business, gang. Focus on that trash ass music, my nigga. Nigga say anything. Mind your business. It's not even your beef. Mind your business, gang. You 40 years old, my nigga. Mind your business. I never heard a nigga say cut on that new DDG. I never heard a nigga say cut on that new DDG. I never heard a nigga say that. Mind your business, bro.
And that has now blown the whole situation over to what it is right now. Now, it would have been fair if Reggie just stuck with beefing with DDG. However, he's gone to beef with a whole bunch of people like FaZe and even some people in his own house. It's all looking like a mess. And one thing I would always say is that you should never make so many enemies, or you should never be so eager to make enemies, because you never know when you need those connections in the future, especially in a platform and industry like he's in. You need those connections to move up in your career. But you could also say he doesn't care. Like, you could also say he doesn't care. I feel like at the point where people realize that they don't care about the connections around them, one could argue, yes, they don't care about cutting off bridges and things of that nature, because in his word, nobody is Thanos.
Let's be real, nigga. What would y'all niggas be? Ain't no nigga that nigga don't want to beef with, bro. Fuck is the internet. Nigga don't give a fuck. Y'all niggas keep thinking y'all Thanos. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? You niggas don't.
Which I really liked as well, because yeah, these people, these content creators, they're not Thanos. You know, they're just people at the end of the day who are good at what they do. Same with any celebrity. And if you're an individual who glazes celebrities, well, then it just kind of just confirms that you're a loser. Point blank, period. As amazing as these streamers are, you're a loser. And I think Reggie has got the whole mindset of that. However, it's not good for your career, because people are not going to collab with you. And it's such an intertwined circle. So I kind of see where it's coming from, but at the same time, I'd always advise people to not, you know, start beef with any and everybody. I'm not saying you have to like them. I'm not saying you have to, you know, glaze them or anything like that. But I'm just saying the last thing you want to do is make enemies until you really have to. And I think this situation is something that he really didn't have to get into. But let's all consider the fact that Reggie is 21 years old, and DDG is 27 years old. And considering the fact that all Reggie said to DDG was, your music is trash, things of that nature, that's how it started off anyways, and DDG is getting all irate about this, that's whack. I'm not even, that's just point blank period. You know, the guy insulted your music. He didn't say anything else, or at least until after that. He didn't say anything else apart from that to start off with coming at you. Someone could say your music is bad, and that's not disrespect. Like, for example, someone could say to me, my channel is garbage. Fine, that's not for you. Am I gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, you're a hater, things of that nature, get angry? Nah, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. This place is gonna have motion regardless. I'm still gonna move on with life because I am more than this YouTube stuff. I am more than anything I do in life, you know? And I think individuals, we should be like that. Someone can have an opinion about your craft or whatever it is that you do, and that's okay. I don't see why some people get so irate when people have a negative opinion on what you do. Some people don't like the fact that I go to the gym a lot. My mom, you know, she be having that perspective. That's fine. That's okay. Is my mom a hater? No. You know, there's a lot of people who don't like things about me. I don't see why you have to get all irate about a 21-year-old coming at you. Because if you get irate about a younger especially saying things about you, you got so much deeper problems and you have a big ego. Now, this is not to take away that DDG is a great content creator. He's done a lot of things for the game and that he's good at content creation, what he does. That's not taking it away from him. But this is whack what he's doing. Like, you don't move like that over some insults. And this isn't the first time DDG has gone so irate about people coming at him for his music. He takes that ish very personally. And I can understand if, like, you dislike when people do that. But to the point where you start threatening violence, that's some weird ish.
Expected. I'm ready for that. But I'm telling you, what's gonna come behind that ain't gonna be internet.
That is some weird ish. Like, there's no two ways about it. DDG fans will come on here and say, oh no, you don't get X, Y, Z. I don't care. I don't listen to you guys, whatever it is. I have my opinion, I sound it. And if you don't like it, well, piss off. I don't really care about you guys. But we need to start addressing the fact that these streamers, these celebrities have massive egos. And sometimes they do need to be humbled. Not humbled in the way that's like, oh, you need to downgrade yourself and discredit all your achievements. Nah, your achievements are great. Your achievements are amazing. Your achievements are like, it's no denying that you're successful. It's no denying that what you do is good. I mean, at the end of the day, his music is doing good. His streaming numbers is doing good. His views, like, he gets motion online. But then for someone like Reggie to then come and say your music is trash, you know, you have a bunch of people, millions of people saying your stuff is good, and you're gonna trip over one person disliking your thing. Now, apparently this is because Reggie had come before saying, oh, like some slick stuff and X, Y, and Z. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, and I don't really care. We're just going off a base of what we saw. But at the end of the day, this beef is the most pointless beef that I have ever seen in my entire life, you know. And I guess a lot of people are invested in it. If you want to be invested in it, that's cool for you. But we really need to stop, like, being invested in these kind of beefs. Especially because it's nothing personal, you know. Like, when in my younger days, when we beefed about something, there was some ill stuff said or ill stuff done. Like, there was some more serious ish going on. So when I go on the internet, I see what people argue for. You know, first of all, I always start like this. I always see someone threatening violence, like DDG. I saw him threatening violence. And I saw Reggie saying a bunch of personal stuff. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? What's going on? Who said what? X, Y, Z. And then I find out what it was. I'm like, really? I was like, really? Is this beef now? Is this what everyone's making such a ruckus about? You know, like, it's the most weirdest thing. I can understand Reggie dealing with this girl, you know, the way he was. That was some ill-ish. You know, she tried to scam, sort your stuff out. But then, like, we beefed over an opinion about music, you know. On top of that as well, I guess from a 21-year-old, he should be more emotionally mature and wiser than that to know that you don't get so butthurt if people have something to say about your relationship as well. You messed up. You got with the girl who was a gold digger. You got with a girl who didn't have any integrity. It happens. Just take the L and move on. You ain't gotta make a diss track at everybody. You ain't gotta diss everyone and act as if like everyone's against you. Everyone gonna have their stupid opinions. They are. You know, every day I go about in life, I see people coming up with the most stupid opinions. Do I take them for anything? Nah. Shout out to my moms. My mom's has the most outrageous opinions ever. And it takes, you know, it used to be such good rage, man. I used to get so angry at it. But now, it's at a point where it's like, you know what, ma? If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. And everyone needs to get to that point. Stop taking it so personally. Stop getting so offended, because if you get offended over ish like that, you're weak-willed. That's just the reality of it. You get to a point in life when you realize, yeah, that you have an ego. All of us have an ego. Us as human beings, we have an ego. We have an ego that stays there, and that ego can be good, very rarely, and mostly bad. Very rarely in the sense that the ego will convince you that you're sticking up for yourself, or you're standing your ground and dealing with haters. But reality of it, you don't like criticism. You don't like negative things about you. You don't like when people have an opinion about you that's not positive, and you can't deal with that. Why would you get offended when a bunch of people are complimenting you, but one person says one negative things? That is an insecurity issue. That is a ego-driven issue, and you need to sort that out. To the individual watching this isn't just about the streamers. This is about you as well. Whoever's watching this, you have an ego, and you can't deal when people say negative stuff about you. You need to do some serious internal work. I don't know what you went through or what it is that you're doing, but you gotta stop taking things so personally, because you get to a stage where you're an adult, right? And you see online now DDGs threatening violence and all kinds of stuff are being thrown, and you know, it's not staying on the internet no more, and it's going into violence, which I guarantee it's not going to get to violence, because they're not, you know, no, it's not like that. They're not like that. But you know, realistically speaking, when we look at this situation, right, real life is here, and whether you want to admit or not, this isn't high school no more. You go out there threatening people, you go out there attacking people, or you start, you know, trying to square up to people because of an opinion, you're gonna go to jail. How do I know this? I know this. I used to fight all the time, me and my cousins. You feel me? But real life got us real good. I tell you that. That's all I'm gonna say on this channel. But real life caught up with us. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't even threaten that ish no more. You feel me? Because I know I'm a big black guy. The courts are not taking my side. You feel me? And you individual watching this, even if you're not like me, right? Those threats, those physical altercations, all those things, you're gonna get in trouble for that. You feel me? The only case where you should be getting violent if someone attacks you first. But other personal issues like this and getting so irate and bickering and arguing, all kinds of stuff like that, come on. We're adults now. Let's mature. Let's take criticism and move on. You know, I guess obviously it seems more dramatic with the celebrities and the influencers because they have a higher ego, obviously, because they're doing so well. They can't imagine themselves doing any wrong whatsoever. But to the individual watching this, you still have an ego, even though it's not as big as theirs. And I encourage you to make sure that you maintain that and you hold that securely. Make sure that someone can say something bad about you and that not break your confidence or your belief in yourself or your composure. Don't let that get you so irate or so emotional. This is not the move. It can never be the move. It should not be normalized. Whilst it is funny, that's what you can learn from it, alright? They're really fine over this kind of stuff, you know? And it's a shame. He's like 27. Don't acknowledge the 21-year-old. You can't say that the guy's a little boy to you, but then you're addressing the little boy. He's 21 years old. The kid knows no better. To add to this as well, DDG threatening violence over ish like that is not helping his case with Halle Bailey. This is gonna get him in big trouble. I mean, we watch him at, you know, a DreamCon doing the whole violent thing. Well, his cousin's doing the whole violent thing. It's gonna leak into this world. The girl watching it, but you think that if you're in such a serious situation like this, you'd be aware of that. But hey, you know, you see, this is what happens when you let your ego and emotions get the best of you. You don't think of the longevity. And that's what Reggie and DDG need to think of, the longevity. He has a kid he's fighting for. And Reggie has a long time career that he doesn't want to end early. But anyways, what's your guys' opinion? You know, whose side are you on in this whole thing? If you're on the side, I'm very disappointed in you. But let me know your opinions and your thoughts. With that being said, God bless, take care, and I'll see you guys next video.